Hey guys, thanks for joining us on tonight's special podcast, Football Manager 2015 features. We're going to have a look through the features that were announced yesterday at the Football Manager documentary, as well as a question and answers from Miles, as well as the features documentary video thing. Tonight we've got Ryan with us, so introduce yourself, Ryan. No, introduce yourself, just say hello.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, this is going well, isn't it? Good start. Right, before we've even gone live, there's a fair few questions coming in from the lads listening about Football Manager. So before we start running through the post that Ryan made last night, we'll have a look at a couple of questions. Let's go down. Christian Horsfall, he knows, I'm guessing. What do you think about the new tracksuit or tactical feature? I like the idea of being able to see what's happening on the training ground. Go on, Ryan.
Yeah, I like the idea. I think, if anything, I'm going to be a tracksuit manager because I like to see myself on the training ground getting involved. So that'll probably be me for FM15.
I agree. I think it's definitely a fantastic feature. They've definitely put a lot of thought into it. I like the idea of being able to adjust your stats at the start to an extent. The one thing that I do think about is there's a lot of people who win a lot of trophies very quick, and they have the aid or the benefit, you could say, of a higher reputation to start with, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think this could confuse a lot of discussion on, oh, well, did you start with an advantage? How did you start? Because, for example, my first save is going to be starting in level 8 as Darlington. I'm going to be making a database within minutes of the game coming out, and it'll be on our website. And I will be starting with no coaching badges, the lowest reputation and the lowest points. I'm going to drop all my points down apart from the ones that I have studied myself as like in real life, so I'm going to try to make it as close to real life as I can. Where someone else might start and give themselves some crazy stats, but I'm curious to know, on Football Manager 14 we've looked at, when you ask people to look at the history, like to see how they started.
Yeah.
What's it going to show? Is it going to show each individual stat, or is it just going to show that they selected a certain level? I'm still unsure. I mean, it's definitely a talking point, Christian. I'm sorry to just ramble on, lads.
I think the one thing about this feature is you can select which coaching badge you can get on which style of football that you have played as an international or Sunday League. But I don't agree that if you're being an international footballer, it makes you a better coach.
Yeah.
There have been some managers out there that haven't been the best footballers, but they've gone on to be brilliant managers. So there's possibly a bit of debate there.
I think it's always going to be debated. I do think, don't get me wrong, I do think the idea and the detail they've put into it's fantastic. Next question that come in first was from Patrick. He listened earlier as well to my Wales save on FM Central YouTube channel, so thanks for coming on again. Straight to the point, what's your favourite feature on FM15 from what we've seen? I think my favourite, there's a few. I mean, I absolutely love, and I told Miles today on Twitter, and Miles was fantastic the way he was replying to me today. The sidebar and the way they've integrated with the bar along the top, it's kind of mixed in, which I've never seen on a Football Manager to this detail, and it seems so much easier to navigate yourself around. And I've never used the notes section, for example, but how it's set up now, I'm probably going to be using it a lot. What's your opinion, Ryan?
I probably agree. I was very sceptical of this sidebar when these leaked images came out. I didn't want to look at them and it just looked horrific. But I think they have changed it slightly and the sidebar looks amazing, even with the bar at the top. I have used the notes before, but I would advise everyone to use the notes. And on our FM Central website, there is a youth regen date. I use my notes for that to know when them regens are coming through. Just a bit of advice for everyone there.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely the note, and what I do really like is the the promises. But do you know what, Patrick? I really can't choose because I really like how they've made the bar at the top of search bar. And I really like how they've changed the tactics. I'm so curious to get into the tactics and start to rotate players to see how that. It seems like it's a circle bar which goes from green to orange, to decide how comfortable that player is. There's so much in there. I think it's exciting. It is, seriously, it's exciting. We sound like little kids at Christmas.
It's exciting.
Next question was from Ryan Priddle. Thanks for listening, Ryan. Do you think that they should improve the questioning of the press conferences and have better emotions as well instead of just calm, passionate, etc.? I think they should add like angry or enthusiastic, ecstatic, sorry, and maybe able to swear. The swearing side of it, they've obviously got to be extremely careful about. People will be very quick to jump on and basically sue them. If their underage child picks up a swear word, where did you learn it? Football Manager, bang. They'll be in trouble. So I think it's going to be definitely hard. Press conferences wise, definitely. If you'd been following me on my Wales save, I'd just qualified for the European Championships in my first tournament in charge, and my team meeting just after I qualified was to tell the players that we are in real danger of not qualifying or they are playing poor. There was no other option. It's basically they assumed Wales are shit, so they gave me shit answers. What do you think, Ryan? Do you want to go into depth about the press conferences?
They have been improved for FM15, where they've split the media into tabloid and I think it's broadsheet, I think we call them.
Yeah.
But I think that's a great idea because the tabloids, which you're going to think of the Sun, the Daily Mail, they're going to be trying to get an answer and just use anything to make headlines. The broadsheets will be going into more how a manager is going to go tactically into a game, how they're selecting players, why players are not playing. But the ability to swear, I can't agree with that one. But there is still the option underneath any question to add comments. So swear all you like in there. That's my advice on the swearing part. I've done it many times, but I don't think they'll add in the options of swearing.
Alex has just asked a question here, following on from Christian's question. Are you a tracksuit or tactical manager, Ryan?
I did say at the start that I would be a tracksuit, but I'm sort of a mixture of both. So I don't know where I lie. I may lie slightly towards tracksuit because I wouldn't see myself sitting in an office if I was a football manager. I'd like to be out there coaching the lads, setting what I want them to do. Yeah,
I totally agree. Same me, Alex. I'm tracksuit manager all day long. I'll be on the training field, especially at Darlington. I'll be the only one stood there. So definitely, it's fantastic for low league management because it drives you crazy when you can only get one or two coaches in. So Ryan's just been back on. He's just seen on the website about the new interface. Do you like it, and do you think it's easy to use? I do. I'm so impressed by what they've done with it. Definitely fantastic changes to it. I actually asked Miles today when they got rid of the sidebar. I found a screenshot on Google from myself from, I think it's 2007. I posted on the forum, and the picture's still on Google search. If you just Google my name. I think it's about 3/4 of the way down the page. That was with the sidebar. And when you look at that sidebar and look at how they've brought it back with the interaction with the top bar, because they haven't removed the top bar, they've just limited it to fewer drop downs and easier to navigate. What do you think, Ryan?
I think it looks brilliant. I mean, as I said, I was sceptical of the sidebar, but now looking at it, you can access. If you can scroll down on the site, I've put that you can access your under 18s, under 21s, and other features purely through the sidebar. Where, as on FM14, you've got to click the arrow and bring the drop-down menu to find your under 21s, your under 18s. So I think it's going to make it easier to remember players in your under 21s that you think are going to be future players, or in your under 18s. You've got the ability to access your finances, which is obviously something you need to remember, because you can't take your club into debt, or remember your finances, remember your wage budget, know how much money you've got left. I think it's a brilliant outlook. You've got, obviously, you can get access to your My Profile, where you know where you've been in previous clubs, how long you've been there, how many trophies you've won. It is features that have been on the old FM, but I think in FM15 it's going to look a lot more better and a lot more simplistic.
It looks so clean how they've managed to do it. Like I say, seriously impressed, and great work for them to actually getting that done. I was going to scroll down. I've just seen the top one there from Patrick again. What do you think? What do you think of Burger Vans and the Movember feature? I think Movember feature. I think there's not a single person who's going to insult that. I think it's a fantastic Sports Interactive once again, being loyal, giving money to charity, and just trying to give charity awareness. Basically, I think it's fantastic for them. So definitely fantastic feature. They're bringing Movember, adding more charities, and if anything, as you play through November in the game, you're going to personally think, do you know what, I'm going to donate £1, I'm going to donate €1, I'm going to donate £1 to this charity. So fantastic bit of just marketing, yeah. What do you think, Burger Vans, Ryan?
It's not something that I would have thought of, but obviously I'm not a game developer. Miles is the brain behind all that, but it's just these little things that will make FM15 a lot better, and actually when you're watching the games it makes it look like you're actually watching a football game. It's not as good as FIFA graphically, but all these little things like burger vans, ambulances, the big screen TVs, which I didn't get a screenshot of, I do apologise for that, but it is on the video where you can see a big screen TV and the match still going on there. But all these little things, it just makes the match a lot better and a lot more realistic.
Next question is from Scott Young. Thanks for listening, Scott. What do you guys think about the Movember thing for regions? Joined the stream late. We just spoke about it, Scott, but obviously thanks for mentioning it. Like we say, it's fantastic. I think we can't praise Sports Interactive enough. They've had so much to do this year, and they still put thought into the charities. Ryan asked about the user interface. Sorry, I forgot to. That has been done. What do you guys think about the new feature of being able to talk to players on the pitch during the games? That's from Christian. Do you know what? That actually really impressed me. And what also impressed me was the feature of being able to talk to the press in the tunnel if your game's on TV, etc. I think it's that little thing. If we all sat down and made notes of stuff we wanted in the game, I'd be surprised how many people would say tunnel interview. So it is fantastic that this has been brought in. But as you said, talking on the pitch during the game, it is going to be good. I mean, I'm sure Ryan will love to get on that touchline and hurl some abuse at Rooney if he's not doing his job right.
I would.
What do you think of just this feature in general?
It's an excellent feature. I don't understand how it hasn't been put on FM. Maybe it's just been lost in translation somewhere, but it's a brilliant feature that's going to add more realism to the game. You can tell your players what you want to do tactically during the game, whereas in other games you've had to wait till half time to tell them what you want them to do, how angry you are, or happy you are at the way they're playing. FM15, you're going to be able to do it during the game, so brilliant feature to add.
I do like the fact you can get some abuse to maybe the left winger and just say, stop doing this, cut inside or something. It's definitely a fantastic idea and well thought of. We'll just have a quick scroll down the website here. What type of manager will you be? Which is the next bit that Ryan's done on the post. We've discussed that about the tactical, the tracksuit or tactical manager. Let's have a scroll down. Do you want to go into that anymore, Ryan, or do you want to go into the match engine?
I think I will say about the manager, obviously, when you change your coaching license, I think we have discussed it before, but for anyone that has joined the stream late, when you do change your coaching license, obviously the higher you go, the higher your stats will go up. So there may be some discussions on the FM FMC Facebook group where people could be accused of having a higher coaching license when they don't actually possess it. But obviously it's their choice. You can take your stats all the way down, as Paul said he's going to do with his Darlington save. But maybe be realistic and pick the coaching licenses that you may have. Mine isn't on there, I don't think. I've got FA Level 2, but I don't think anyone's going to be FA Level 2 and managing someone like Man United. I think they go up to Continental C. I think they have added a few more, but be realistic and keep the stats. Give yourself a challenge. Why not?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's good to see some international footballers listening. Mario Götze has come on. Do you have in mind a player that you think should be a wonder kid on FM15? Do you want to go first, Ryan?
It's got to be. I may get his name wrong. He's Norwegian. Paul will know. Martin Odegaard. Is that how we say his name?
Yeah, you're very close.
Odegaard, something like that. He's going to be a wonder kid. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's definitely a good talent. There's actually a young kid playing in Egerton at the minute. His name's completely slipped my mind. He's a young Spanish kid. I've seen him play a couple of times, and he strides above everybody. He's completely dominating. He's getting watched by Viking at the minute, so no doubt he'll be up in the top league in Norway. And before long, I can't see him staying in Norway much longer. He's come over here just to get a chance, and I don't understand how he hasn't got a chance in Spain. There's some couple obvious ones. I think Wilson from Man United. I think they'll jump on the bandwagon and stick him as a wonder kid.
Yeah, FM14 he wasn't much. He didn't seem to develop as much. I tried it on a new Man United save, and he didn't seem to get anywhere, and had to sell him in the end for cheap. So hopefully they improve his stats and bring him up.
Yeah, I think Will Hughes might drop a couple of stats because last season he had a good season, but I don't think he hit the heights we were expecting. Hence why he's still at Derby County, to be honest. Just trying to go through. It's such a good question.
Maybe that one who was it on one of our older streams that we've done. Al Hadoui that someone brought on. I had no idea who he was. He's at Barcelona.
Oh, Andre making people up. We found on Google.
Yeah.
We found him on Google. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be a wonder kid.
There's some. You've got to then look along the lines of clubs like Bate Borisov.
Yeah.
They've obviously developed players throughout the years, and Football Manager does jump on the bandwagon for players like that. I think the researcher for Football Manager in Belarus, I think he must love making figures up, because some of them players come through, the likes of Bresson from years ago. He was absolutely amazing. He went to Russia on the back of a couple of good performances for Bate, and I don't know where he's at now. I think he doesn't actually have a club.
No, I don't think. I know he was somewhere in Saudi Arabia at one point, but I don't know where he's gone now.
It's definitely a good question. I've said in previous podcasts, I don't like to predict players' futures. I'm not an expert, and I don't want to be telling you someone's going to be a wonder kid for you to come back and tell me I was talking shit. To be honest, I'd rather just say, I'm not too sure. I can go through a list of some good players, but I'm just going to make you fall asleep if I keep talking.
Yeah, it will make me wonder in the terms of wonder kid. Who are they going to have as a wonder kid that in a few years' time won't actually turn out how FM predicted that he may be? There's been a few on previous SMs that haven't turned out as FM predicted. Will there be some on FM15, or is it going to be more realistic with the addition of this Pro Zone?
Yeah, I am going to scroll back up for people watching. I've just scrolled down to the pros and cons, just ready for the next question. Coming from Ryan Priddle, he's just asking about the pros and cons on the website. You can see where I've scrolled down to, so if you go onto our website and scroll down so you can follow the conversation. He's saying again, he's noticed on the website the added features, scouting reports, the pros and cons, and what we think about the pros and cons. The pros and cons, I think, is a great idea. It's definitely something I'm going to be using. I've said all along, 2014 has destroyed my FM confidence until now. I've just started absolutely hammering people with Wales, and people who followed it know I'm doing so good above expectation. I'm definitely next year I'm going to be going so in depth on everything from players to tactics to going back to how I used to play the game before I had so much extra to do basically. So people who follow my saves in FM15 will pick up a good few tips if they're looking to go a bit more detailed. And pros and cons is something which I think many people will use. What do you think of it?
I mean, it's an excellent feature because they're not just adding pros and cons of them as a footballer. It puts in things about their mentality, their personal life. Obviously, not things about relationships, but you get the gist. I mean, you're going to have someone like Balotelli. Their con is going to be that they're an idiot or they're a clown on the pitch. Pros will be something like good penalty taker. So.
Good penalty taker. Pro, he turns up. Next, let's have a scroll down. So, do you know what? I genuinely think Google Hangout just sticks the questions up in any order.
Yeah, there's questions coming in and they're just flying everywhere.
Ryan's been on, Ryan Priddle. Breslon's playing in Rio Ave. I can't pronounce it. Sorry, Andre, if you're listening. Thanks, Ryan. I did actually wonder where Breslon was. He didn't have a club last time I knew. So it is good to know he's actually still alive. Football Manager 2008, half of my squad was from Belarus. Oh, I absolutely dominated any game, no matter League One, Championship, Premier League. Signed the same people and they did the same job. No wonder I'm not as good. The games got harder. Jake Stewart's been on. Hey, Jake.
It was next.
Guess who's just turned up to the party? Well, at least you're listening. Not sure if tactics have been discussed, but what are your thoughts? And you're being able to put anywhere non-fixed positions. If you 1 second, I'm going to scroll up to the tactics in this very well-organised podcast. Here we go. And what I am actually going to do this evening, just to improve it on the website, I want you guys to link this to your friends so they can learn about Football Manager, consider buying the game. I'm going to stick a index at the top so you can select where you want to go on the post instead of scrolling all the way through if you want to check something specific. I know what you're all thinking, wow, that sounds amazing. So we'll get under the tactics. You can go on this, Ryan.
Well, they didn't show it specifically. You can add players in any position, but when I looked at it and they're showing it up, players didn't look level, so I assume that you can put players in more positions than just one set position. But I think it's going to add more variety of player roles.
I think what I saw was when they were changing from support to attack, for a wing back to a I can't remember the name, the something wing back, the new one. You know what I mean?
Integrated.
They moved slightly, so I don't know if it's you can put them anywhere, or if you select false 9, for example, it automatically drops him just behind the striker, just slightly further back.
It will be something that we'll have to wait 2 weeks for.
Yeah, wait and find out. It's definitely going to be a very long 2 weeks. Let's have a look down to see what else you've got on the tactics. Is there anything else you want to bring up? I mean, some of the I just love it. I think these.
There was
go on.
I think is it 4 new positions they've added in. They've added in inverted wing back, which is something that the South Americans play, where it's not going to be
Where's this?
Go up. Yeah, I'll keep explaining, but go up. They're in there in the tactics bit.
Oh, okay. Yes, we are live, guys.
The inverted wing back is someone that it doesn't just run up and down the line like a normal wing back will do. They'll cut inside and try and make scoring opportunities in the centre, so they'll try and join the centre midfield.
Oh, there it is.
They've added something called a Rangbauter, which is German for space maker, which someone like Marco Reus would play in that position where they create their own space on the field. It's the third one down when you scroll down the page. I don't need anyone calling me now. Sorry. The other one is I think it's a roaming playmaker, which is someone that plays in a defensive midfield position, but they are also a playmaker. And wide playmaker is. I think it was something that was in FM14, but they've slightly added something in and changed the name. But they had a wide advanced playmaker. But this wide playmaker is someone that can play on the right or left of midfield, not attacking midfield, and they stay wide and set up goal scoring opportunities.
It's the likes of James Milner.
Yeah.
He's not quick. He's not quick enough to get up and down the wing, but he's technically a fantastic player. So he can sit on the wing and kind of link the play.
That's what he can do. He can sit.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we're not his biggest fan, but he's decent enough at doing the job he does. See, I'm being nice tonight.
We had, I think Patrick's question was next.
What do you think of the new stadiums and the features within the stadiums, like banners and sea colours? Don't worry, lads. I'll get to it. I've seen them.
I'll talk as you scroll.
There we go. I found them.
The stadium features, they look excellent, but I do question if we're going to be able to see them during the game, or when they're shown it, was that something in the development process when they were making the games? Because usually when you're watching the game, all you can see is the pitch and maybe a few of the stands. You can't see a full zoomed out view. Maybe on the third image it looks like a lower league stadium where you can see all corners, and they've added in the burger vans and the ambulances. You might be able to see more there, but whether you'll be able to see these South American stadiums or the rounded stadiums, I'm not quite sure yet.
I wonder if they're going to bring it in as it's pre-match. It kind of goes from an aerial view and slowly goes into the stadium.
Yeah, that is what I did wonder. It would be a great addition if they have added that.
We'll soon find out, lads. Just a couple of more weeks to hold on. Next question, I'm going to go with Scott Young. Do you think that C will ever put player pictures in the game already so we don't have to download them? I know there are too many players to do this for you. Why can't they do like for the top 4 English leagues and top leagues for France, etc.? I think it's all about
licensing
players.
For the Premier League, they can't get any licenses for the logos on the players in the next 5 years because the Premier League has just signed a new deal with FIFA, so they can get their sponsorship there, but Football Manager won't have any licensing there. I think some of the top players in Spain will have their places, obviously players like Messi and Ronaldo, because there's licensing there somehow. I don't know how. I don't talk to Miles that much about licensing, but who knows? But obviously there are some great people, DF Face Packs, who make amazing face packs for FM. They will add amazing faces. Download them. I wouldn't worry about not having faces because there will always be people that will make faces.
I genuinely think a lot of people don't download DF Face Packs because it's so large. I've got DF Face Packs original, the extension, as well as the league packs. It took approximately 15 hours to download them all, but you've got 4 weeks till Football Manager 15 comes out. All the graphics are transferable over, and not all of them, but most of them are up to date. So you've got 4 weeks to get them downloaded. Basically set it away, download on a torrent, go to bed. You wake up and you know for FM15 you've got all the face packs that you need. So I'd recommend anyway. Tom Wood, thanks for listening. Just popped on to say hello. Let's have a look through. We'll go to
Christian.
I was going to go for the international footballer, who's a bit more important than Christian. We'll go with Christian. I know it's not a feature of the game, but what do you think of the recruiter that has been made through FM to help real-life managers to find players for the clubs? I found very interesting that Game Database can be accurate to help real-life managers. I will say that recruiter wasn't made by Sports Interactive. Sports Interactive have joined the team to make Recruiter bigger. Big Recruiter was already running, but not to the database level of Football Manager. I think it's mental. I think it's the best word to describe that. Actual football managers use FM to find players, basically. Awesome idea. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, look at all, like on the documentary where he talks about Messi, Alec McLeish's son. Prime example, isn't it? 13 years old, talking about signing this kid. His father ignores him and then turns out to be the best player in the world.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ryan?
It's a great addition. I mean, I've seen loads of pictures of Premier League footballers or professional footballers that all play FM. So this recruiter that's FM or SI have made amazing. They've added in greater detail of every single game that they play, how their pass completion is, their shot completion. It's going to make management and scouting so much easier. But obviously, as Miles said in the video yesterday, he's not saying that recruiter should be used solely to sign players. A manager should still go and watch a player before they sign them, but it's still a great addition for looking for players.
Definitely. We'll move on to the international superstar then. I think the new scouting options are brilliant, he says. To be able to send a scout to look for a player with certain preferred moves, attributes, or certain role, what do you think? I totally agree. I don't think I'll be doing much scouting with Darlington. I just had a massive beep on my computer. I thought I broke it. But I definitely think it's a fantastic idea. I mean, to be able to basically say you're looking for somebody who can pass a ball, who's 5 foot, who doesn't like Balotelli, as an example of how they kind of explained it on the documentary. I think it's awesome. I think they've put so much detail into it. I mean, do you want to go into this, Ryan?
I mean, yeah, they've put so much in that a normal person probably wouldn't think of, but now it's going to be easier to find things like homegrown players, where I've seen people on our FM group that have got to a stage where they've got no homegrown players, so they've got to not register one player, or they've got to register a youth player. Now with the scouting tool, you're able to find homegrown players within the league, or maybe someone that's homegrown elsewhere, an English player that could be playing in Australia, and you just don't know about him. You can find him quite easily. He may not be very good, but he would be a homegrown player.
Yeah. Just quickly before I go on to Ryan, Tom's been back on. Which football team do you all support? Well, I'm a Newcastle fan and a Molde/Egerton fan due to me not living in the UK. You can guess which country I live in. Go on, Ryan.
I am a Man United fan, and I also follow my hometown of Coventry.
So basically, he's a Glory supporter who likes to depress himself now and again.
Well, yeah, I do go to a few games.
That's all right. So support the bankrupt team. Right, Ryan's been on. They've expanded the searching tool, so it's easier to search for players and it's more advanced. So I can see, yeah.
And that's along the lines of the scouting, but also the search bar at the top. It's a simple addition, but something that you wouldn't think of, but amazing to have at the top, where you don't need to actually click on the magnifying glass, bring up this search thing. You can just search straight away. So searching on FM15 is going to be so much easier.
It's not. I've just looked at the screenshot there, and I guarantee somebody who's listening has just done this. You look at the screenshot and go, "Oh yeah, the search box has gone from the right corner."
It makes things so much easier.
It does. It's such a good feature. I'm just like you guys. I'm just reading through the website again. I've read this post a couple of times today, and you just read through and you just pick out them little points which you might not have even noticed the first time round.
At least you appreciate it.
Well, yeah, that's it. Took you all the hours. Poor lad, he's been half asleep all day because of it. This is another feature which no one's actually brought up. I don't know if you lads are scrolling through as we are. Playing management interaction. I'm just going to read the first paragraph, which I don't know if Ryan typed up or he just stole from Miles.
No, I typed it up.
That's all right then. A manager's ability to interact with their players is a vital part of is a vital part of man management.
You're picking my 5 faults.
Spell check.
Hey, this was 2 o'clock I was doing this. Go on, carry on.
I'm not even going to read it because I found more spell checking it. But he's got a point. What I think what Ryan's basically saying is it's vital to be able to talk to your players, and I love the fact. I don't know what you guys thought, but I love the fact that players can jump to the defence of you or jump to the defence of the player. And instead of having to talk with 10 people about the fact that your team's going bankrupt, you can now just talk to them all at once. I just think these little additions, it's so good. I'll have to say this, I'm like a child. It's so entertaining to see that they've put this effort in. What's your best part of this interaction, Ryan?
I would go along with what you're saying, where players can voice their views if the club is going bankrupt. They can also join your side or a player's side. So you're just going to have to be wary on what you say during team meetings or what you say during individual meetings, because a player will go against you, and obviously it may affect their form, how they play, and you may end up selling them. You may end up having a big everyone in the team falls against you, which obviously no manager is going to want.
Yeah, it's true. Just looked through a couple of questions that have come in. Jake Stewart's asking, can the sidebar move? I don't think it can. I do think it is stationary there. But don't worry, mate, because it looks good. So just leave it where it is. Ryan's been back on. He's an Arsenal fan, so I'm just going to try to work out how to block his IP address. Tom's been on saying he's a big Southend United fan. Who do you think will get the Bolton job? So he's obviously sat there shaking in his boots that Phil Brown's going to be going back up north. We can discuss that in the podcast at the weekend, Tom, if you're listening on our football podcast we do each week. But I don't think Phil Brown's going to go, so don't worry about that. I think it's going to be either Chris Hughton or possibly Malky Mackay if he tries to convince him that he's not racist. So it's going to depend how that conversation goes. It's obviously a sore subject, but I think everyone knows all of what's happened in the past with him. Jake Stewart's obviously a bit depressed that Ryan's an Arsenal fan.
Or maybe he's depressed at me for making spelling mistakes.
Maybe.
I am correcting it now.
I don't know. The worst thing is either you did the spelling mistakes, or when I proofread it this morning, I didn't notice them. I'm going to use the excuse I was busy on the bus. Press conferences and interviews. We discussed that a little bit earlier. How we wanted more questions, basically better interaction. Some of the questions are so incorrect for the situation. Finances. I like the fact. The smallest thing is that they've took the players' wage, but you know who are leaving in the summer. So you get the next year's budget, and you know where you can spend instead of being restricted. And you've got to wait for them players to leave, which used to piss me right off.
Yeah, I also like the addition of knowing what your budgets will be at a very early date. It's something that I've never really known the date of setting initial budgets, but by the looks of it, it's going to be around May 17th or 16th, 15th, depending on the day that it will fall on as the years roll on FM15. But you can start looking for future players, freebies, getting rid of players so you get more wage budget.
That's it. As soon if you sell a player on February the 5th and he's due to leave in the summer, his wage will automatically be removed off the budget for next year, which is fantastic. Instead of having to wait, like we say, for him to leave. One thing I would say is I don't think they've added, which is one thing I've been screaming for, is community finances. Low league clubs make a lot of money doing stuff in the community, just trying to interact, get them couple of pennies coming in.
They don't add it specifically as in to make it noticeable, but they do on the finances. I noticed on FM14, I haven't looked deeply in onto FM15 because when I zoom in it just blurs. They do have a fundraising thing, so I don't know if that is the aspect of community there.
Well, hopefully it's improved, because I like to play as Egerton and just try to rise them up in the Norwegian leagues. And the club in the community, we have about 10 or 15 junior squads, and they all pay to play. They have events in the town all the time to try to like interact with the community. And the club makes decent money. They have a really nice stadium which is well looked after. But on Football Manager you lose a fortune every month. And it just drives me mental that there's no community finances. I've noticed Jake was complaining about the spelling. This is the man who does one thing a week on on the Facebook groups and thinks he's the best admin in the world. Pull your finger out, Jake. Stop listening to this and go and do some work.
Christian with some great timing on the question. Just as we're scrolling down to manager profile.
I can't see. Oh, that come up on your screen before mine.
Really?
I was thinking, are you making questions up? Do you want to read this? Just read a bit on your off the website. I don't know if you spell it correctly, but give it a go.
I won't read it because I don't like reading my own work back. But basically, the manager profiles have been changed on FM15, where you can look at your history in terms of where you've been, but also look at club history. So when you are applying for jobs, you can look at previous managers, how long they've been there, and then obviously you can compare that to what the chairman is like at that club. So where you want to go to that club, if the chairman is a chairman who likes to sack a manager if they're not being successful straight away, or is it going to be a long haul manager like Sir Alex Ferguson, who obviously went through a few chairmans at Man United. So it gives you that ability, but also when you're setting up the game, this is a feature I would have never thought of, but it's something that I'm going to add in. You can add the ability, your ability to speak different languages. So I can now add in that I can speak French, German, and English. There should be Australian on there because Australian is not English.
Sure, you keep telling yourself that. Well, I agree with that because I always have to select Norwegian as a second language. A second nationality, where now I can just select as languages spoken, so it's fantastic that they have added that. Tom's been back on again, another real life football comment. Phil Brown is in talks with us, announcements imminent according to the chief exec, and Phil Brown has said that in an interview that he has unfinished business. He's not going to leave. He is doing decent. I think he's happy there, so don't worry yourself. Let's have a look, Ryan. What's next in our chat? I'm not going to lie, I'm slightly disappointed with the training. I was hoping for a bit more in depth in how you can set training.
It was something very, very short on the video, but I do like how they've changed the semi-professional training to be more realistic. On FM14 you had training every day for semi-professional clubs, I think. I may be wrong there. I do apologise if I'm wrong.
No, what they've done is they've added pre-match training type thing, which before you had 2 days training a week, and that was it.
Yeah, so it makes semi-professional training more realistic. I've just gone mind blank of what they've added. They added coaches for training. They've added technical, tactical, and mental. Where this is something that I think I actually put on the SI forums about tactical coaches, because there's obviously a tactical stat. I always used to put the person that had a 20 stat on my tactical training, but now they've got a specific tactical coach where you can put him to train your tactics, your mental side of the game, which is all the psychology and how you're playing on the pitch, and then the technical is all about learning skills, be the next Ronaldo. It's great additions, but it's not major for training this in the next.
They have left it a bit too. In my opinion, you should be able to select, instead of just focusing on attack training all week, you should be able to select to do like half a day of this, half a day of that, and just maybe be able to mix it up a bit. But
Tom Wood's come on. Is the question come to you yet?
Our Facebook page is called FM Central and also Football Central. If you just search Football Central, that'll get you to the real life football page, and for Football Manager it is FM Central. No doubt one of the lads listening might actually link it. I don't know if you can link. on Google Hangout, to be honest.
I think you can.
1 second. Christian's been on Manchester United train every day. I live less than a mile from the training ground and play. Yeah, it's because she's on in Europe, pal.
And they're professional football clubs do have to
professionals,
train
obviously.
every day.
We were just talking about semi-professional Christian and amateur. It's low down where they used to only train 2 times a day, where now you can train on a pre-match. So they've added that onto it. But yeah, obviously United are going to be there every day because you've got nothing else to do. So, so sorry to burst the bubble, but don't worry, one day you'll be back in Europe.
So Christian, we'll get him on. We'll get Ben on, who is also a Man United fan, and we'll all gang up on him because he's a Newcastle fan and take the mickey out of his team.
Sorry, lads, I'll just mute you. Surprise feature. Do you want to go on this because you've added it?
This is the link to how FM like to bring in their charities on the game. Usually they'd add their charities around on the ad boards, but now they've brought in this great feature, which I think is fantastic, the Movember feature, where the regens on the game will have moustaches, different styles of moustaches. But I saw a great comment earlier from Jake Trimmins on the group where when he's looking in November, if someone of 15 years old has more facial hair than him, he's going to be quite worried. But it's obviously a great feature, and as Paul said earlier on in the podcast, it's something that when you're looking in November, you're going to think, oh, maybe I should donate to the Movember charity, £1, a euro, whatever currency that people are in. So it's a great feature to add.
Just looking through here, Christian's linked the website, which is thanks for that, Christian. That would make more sense because down on the right hand side on the website, as you scroll down, we have. In fact, I can show you if you look on the screen now, Tom. I can show you on the right hand side on the website.
I believe he's gone mute.
What did it? Sorry, did something happen?
Yeah, you went mute.
Oh, I think I was holding the button for so long. There, you'll see here our FM Central Real Life Football Group. If you click on that on the website, it takes you straight to it, and our Football Manager Central Facebook group. Again, click on it, it takes you straight to the group. Before we answer a couple more questions, one thing I want to mention is this absolutely appalling piece of artwork which I missed. Otherwise, I would have removed it from the post. Jay Pointer, one of our admins, who, believe it or not, is actually a computer nerd, and yet he somehow makes the worst piece of artwork ever. We had a discussion over whose was better. Mine's the article image, his has been stuck at the bottom. I win. He won't be listening, he'll be drunk somewhere. Don't worry about it. Alex has asked, what team are you excited to try on FM15 and which players do you want to try using? For me, Alex, it's Darlington, because I've been looking forward to this save since last month now. So I just can't wait to get in and start low league management and get it going. What about you, Ryan?
I'm looking forward to Coventry, and it's all about looking about how them players are going to develop. Coventry are currently relying on using their youth system to develop players because they're a very poor club, unfortunately, and it looks like they're going to be losing their stadium again. So we'll see how that develops. I will be streaming it somehow. I don't know if it's on Google Hangouts or Twitch yet. It will depend.
Yeah, we've been actually. If somebody can help us who knows anything about Twitch, because we both know nothing about Twitch, we want to know if we record on Twitch. Once we finish recording, does it save you recording? So can we build up a history of our save basically? Otherwise, I will still be recording on the YouTube. And can we have 2 people? So can Ryan record on the FM Central's Twitch as well as myself? Yeah, if you let us know, thanks. Jake's been on to say he's gonna fight all you United fans. He did say with me, but what I'll do is I'll watch Jake, and then if you're in trouble, I can quickly run away. He's also said typical Jay. I assume that's because he's drunk again. It's ridiculous, I know. We'll have a word. We'll form like an FMC council on him. Ryan's linked the Facebook groups. Cheers, Ryan. And Arsenal or Yeovil, as always, Alex. I may always try Wolfsburg, Hamburg, and AC. So they're the teams he's going to give a go. Arsenal, obviously, because he's sportsman, I assume he might have a soft spot for Yeovil, who are a decent side. They're obviously a small club, so a lot of people do like to follow them.
Someone's got to.
Well, it's poor. I think that's it. We've gone through everything.
Looks like Jake's answered our question about Twitch. He says you can't dual stream, and by dual stream, I think he means you can't have someone else come on and talk as well.
No, I don't mean dual stream, Jake. I mean more, if I do recording one evening, then he logs onto the account the next evening and does a recording. Does it keep like a history of the recording so we can follow each other's saves if we can't watch it live? So Twitch is new to me. I followed a couple of people on Twitch, but then people have recently set up their own FM Facebook groups. I've decided not to follow them now because I'm really a bitter old man. But I think that's about it. Jake can answer his question basically to us in our admin chat, as soon as he's one of our own personal friends / stalker. Ryan said he lives near Yeovil. I am sorry for that, Ryan. Don't worry, mate. I'm sure you can move away. It's actually nice. I used to go past Yeovil a few times with my job when I lived in England. There's worse places to live in the Ryan.
Oh yeah.
Coventry,
absolutely terrible place.
But before we get into just insulting places in England, we'll leave the stream. But thanks for listening, everybody. It's good to have someone new on, Tom, obviously, who didn't know us from Facebook, which is even better. Hopefully he'll join one of our Facebook groups. Remember, if you want to go on our website, it's www.footballmanagercentral.com, all one word. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and we really do hope you enjoy FM15 as much as we're going to. There's going to be a lot of changes on the website over the next couple of weeks. All the Football Manager 14 stuff's going to be getting moved, and you'll find the menu will be full of empty links for a couple of days, just while we get stuff sorted out. But it will be all explained very clearly, so don't worry. Ryan's mentioned that he's either laughing at Bridgewater or he lives in Bridgewater. Bridgewater rings a bell, but I think it's due to issues in Bridgewater, but which we won't get into. I'm sure if it is the place I think it is, he'll know what I mean. But thanks for listening, guys. Ryan can have the final word tonight on his excitement and say goodbye.
Yeah, I do look forward to FM15, and make sure you join us for our next podcast where we'll hopefully be discussing how well England have done. But we will soon find out. Me and Paul will be back. I don't know if anyone else will be joining us, but do come and join us, ask your questions, and look forward to FM15.
Goodbye.